afternoon, Patriots, Anons, you brilliant people, Q Army. Are you guys ready? Boom, boom, boom. Come on, let me hear you. Every day here on the Matrix Groove Hour. I want to welcome my partner in justice right off the bat here on May Day 2020. Happy Law Day, Patriots. And Shady, why don't you get in here because you're my partner in justice and we got a lot of stuff to cover.
I love some Law Day, Matrix.
And by the way, it is Friday too, isn't it, Shady?
It is Friday.
What happens on Friday?
On Friday, well, a couple things happen. One thing, we get to have some wonderful guests here, and JT and Carly are going to be joining us in a second. But also, we get to have a Q Lounge live tonight.
Oh, we get a Q Lounge live tonight. I can't wait, Shady. Press 17 if you guys cannot wait for the Q Lounge live, and that will be 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. West, 8 p.m. Central. You guys do the math.
I don't know how to do math.
I don't either. It hurts my head.
JT, Carly, get on in here.
Get in here, JT Wild. Come on in and say hello, sir.
What's happening?
Oh, what's happening, Mr. JT Wild? Hope you're doing well. And let's get our beautiful Carly Bonet. I call her Carluska Late.
I wasn't late. I told you not to do that to everybody. They know I wasn't late.
So
they
then
know.
it was JT, the late guy.
No, it was in the Matrix, and you know it.
It was me. It was not Shady Latte. It was me.
Shady Latte?
Shady Latte, I like that.
Shady Latte. But see, Divine was late too, so we're good.
We're here now.
We're here now, and it's not Carly's fault. It's not Shady's fault. It's not JT's fault. It's my fault.
No.
It's my fault.
I
All right,
let's
kick
China's
this.
Fault.
It's China is.
Asshole.
Oh my gosh.
Asshole.
Just your daily reminder.
Donald Trump, don't believe China. China is asshole.
Oh my God, that's a perfect rendition, JT. I think we're gonna have a song.
Great.
I think we need a song from JT Wild. JT,
We
let
need
me
the song.
let me see if I can get this here real quick. JT, don't start yet. Let me find.
Donald Trump, don't believe China. China is asshole. Donald Trump, don't believe China. China is asshole.
Oh my God. I'm Casey Kasem. This is the top hit of In America Today. JT Wild with China is Asshole. I'm Casey Kasem. Hey, this is Wolfman Jack. Did you hear the new song by JT Wild called China is Asshole?
As a matter of fact, I did. From WKRP in Cincinnati, Ohio. We have
Oh my
brand
God.
new record, China is asshole.
Wow, I love it. By the way, we have a new mod. I just need to see him real quick. It is Sparky, Shady. Sparky's been in the Q Army, and he's going to basically help us out a little bit here, too. Dropping links like your brainchild idea, which is beautiful. That's what makes this show probably the best show with the best mods, with the best red-pilled audience on YouTube. For now. So if I can find Sparky. So what happens is Shady had an idea. It's like, hey, on the Q Lounge Live, when I'm talking about stuff, why don't you guys drop, the sauce, if you will, the source, what we're talking about links.
We're getting black screen on the feed. We're not getting a screen, just so you know.
Oh, really?
Really?
I don't see one.
Huh. I'm showing up and good with Comey.
Oh, let me
refresh.
refresh. There it is.
There I am. There
here
is
we are.
Comey with Operation Razor and Hurricane and all the crap. Oh my gosh. Or what's his name? Sibelius Snapes? What's his name?
Severus Snape.
Severus Snapes.
I didn't know what that was. I told my kids, because we were heavy in the church at the time when this whole Harry Potter thing was happening. And I said, no, that's got spells and stuff in it. Just tell your friends you don't read Harry Potter and the Kidney Stone, and then make it a joke and walk away.
I always used to say Harry Pothead and the Sorcerer's Stoned. By the way, we got pickles.
I have little kids. They were, they were kids.
Now you can say it to them. So we got Rocket Girl out there, Pickles, Pseudonym, Fiona, Angel, Flies. We got the best mods out here. Who else do we have? Rocket Girl, did I say? Sparky now today. Welcome to the team, sir. Let's see, did I miss anybody? Rocket Girl, Kiwi. Oh, Kiwi, key to the Wii. But if I missed anybody, I'm so sorry. You guys are amazing, and we couldn't do this every day without you. Oh, and LK Dark to the Light. Wow, you guys are awesome. And by the way, after this show, 2:30, I mean, hopefully maybe 3. I don't remember what he has it at. But there is a premiere on LK Dark Delights. But we've got a lot to do, Shady, Carly,
Man,
JT.
I tell you, Q kind of set us on fire yesterday evening, didn't he?
He sure did. And let's just get to it, because we've got a lot of posts. And there is a lot of information in here too, guys. I mean, it's actually quite insane. And let's go ahead and let me get calibrated here on the Q map.
I've never seen this type of effery on the live feed, man. It keeps cutting out, and you got to refresh it every couple seconds. On my end, I'm just letting you know.
That's because you were laughing at China. It's your own fault.
China, is that so? So before
Oh, you're right. We made fun of it.
So before we get into it, JT, would you honor us with the song, brother?
Sure, bro. Sure.
Okay, so here we go. We got JT Wild real quick. He's got his guitar, and let's check out what he's got for us today. I always put him on the spot. I love it. And there's a new cue.
Nice. You know what? Oceans of emotion rise like the tide. You're the sweetest song I know.
God bless General Flynn.
Giving me the notion you wanna run and hide. The saddest song I wrote. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you for the pain. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you once again. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the hate. The future proves the past. Nothing here can last. The pain has made me see that everything can change. It'll never be the same. Thank you for the pain. Wishing on a dead star I could know who you really are, but it's not that easy. I'm begging to the moonlight, bring me just one more night. But you still fade away. And I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you for the pain. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you once again. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the hate. The future proves the past. Nothing here can last. The pain has made me see everything can change. It'll never be the same. Thank you for the pain.
Wow, JT, thank you for the pain. Amazing. And it's pronounced or spelled THANQ for the pain. And if you guys don't have that, get on iTunes, Spotify, JT, Apple, everywhere. Even on, just get on there and get his songs, guys. Support JT Wild. JT, thank you for that. Beautiful. So I remember when you wrote that and you're like, it's not ready yet. Remember, JT?
That was the Field of Fight.
Oh, that was Field
that was
of
a different
Fight?
song.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What day is it today?
It's Friday.
God bless you, JT, and God bless
Thanks, bro.
That song and your voice and your move, your words and what you're doing. And we've got probably two of the best musical talents right here with us today. Carly, you as well. Amazing. I got the spirit in me. Wow.
Boom.
I just cackle now.
Not for long.
The cackling Russian. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, guys. This is basically going to be my thread. This is yesterday, right, for 4:30. This will be my thread for all Q posts for Thursday, April 30th, 2020. You didn't think that the statement POTUS regarding calm before the storm was just random, did you? And more. Let's go. And what I want to remind you guys is that I put a lot more than just Q posts in here, guys. And, please check back often. There's some decodes in here. There's brilliant anon stuff. And please share if you can. And I would really appreciate it because, they're so censored. And, kudos to you guys doing your own posts as well because we've got to get this message out. All right. So here we go. Shady, what do you think? Ready?
I think let's jump in.
Carly, you ready?
Aye, Captain.
How about
so ready?
Oh, JT, well, he didn't even need the question.
That voice.
I'm ready.
I'm so ready.
Let's do it.
Oh, I can't. You just gave me a hot flash, dude.
So today is the proclamation today was made by the president yesterday that today is Law Day. Also using the 3 flags, maybe the 3 stars for General Flynn representation. Beautiful manicured American lawn. The house is in good shape. This is how America is, Shady. This is what I picture America as. Everybody gets to have a house, the two and a quarter kids, and a picket fence, a dog, and actually be able to go to work, be proud of something, come back home, enjoy your family, cook out on the weekends. Apple pie, this is Americana as you can get. This picture to me represents America.
Man, it really does. And I'm so excited to see what we have watched take place this week regarding General Flynn. And I love the idea that we have declared Law Day May 1st, because in the esoteric world, today marks their number 2 holiday of rituals in the year next to Halloween. And note, we are a 6-month diameter from Halloween.
Hi, Q. Isn't it amazing Q always posts on our show? Never mind. That was kind of an inside joke. Why are influenza and medications effective at treating COVID-19? Q.
Because it's the flu.
Because it's the flu. And I was saying that to my mom yesterday. It was very amazing. I was hanging out with Mama Matrix. I go, I'm really, because of the Q posts, and they're basically, it's a trial run to take away your constitutional rights. And I can't wait to hear Shady's show tonight because it's going to kind of be around that. And it was amazing that Q posted something very similar to that. And what I wanted to do is I was looking at 2000, I think it was 2017. I actually came down with the flu. And in my town, 5 people passed away from that flu. And I think it was the one where 17,000 people died that year. I can't remember. But 5 people died of COVID in my town too. Quote unquote COVID. So very interesting that we didn't have all of this worry and fear back then. So, I commend Q actually, helping a lot of people that are really afraid right now, Shady.
Yeah, and because the media has really drummed up the fear hot and heavy for the last 30 days and scared everybody into their house, and now everybody's like, okay, well, now there's no COVID, nobody really is dying, but I still can't go to the beach. Doubling down on that is our governors, and I think this is your president putting the you know what hats on notice for you to be upset at.
Yeah, look behind the flags. That is a church, correct? Looks like a church building to me. Interesting, right?
I think we figured out where this picture was
back
from.
in the day.
I can't remember what the backdrop to this was. It might have been a church.
Yeah.
I just noticed that the houses are kind of turn of the century, 1904, 19...
Yep.
17?
1917?
Yep. Very possibly, actually. And, you know, it's turning to probably a time when America, you know, when people were really understood what America was about. And not that it's about normalcy and everybody, you know, look at every house is a different color. You know, it's about diversity. It's about, you know, but it's about taking care of our country, about taking care of ourselves, our yard, and you know, and owning that, having something to own, and having the potential to own things. And that's what they took away right there.
Very interesting.
Right over the mark.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, so where am I? How did this get so small again? All right, so let's go back. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out where we're at. Okay, yeah. I mean, just so many Q posts. God bless you, Q. We love you, and we got a long day ahead of us. So, Shady, this is today. It is May 1st, and Shady was pointing out that it is a High Holy Satanic Day. I believe it's yesterday through today. And this basically counteracts them, because we know them. They don't like God. They don't believe in this country. And I think this is the perfect...
Well, they really don't like law.
They don't like law.
That's the big thing that gets them in a sticky situation.
So now, therefore, I, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, in accordance with Public Law 87-20, as amended, do hereby proclaim May 1st, 2020 as Law Day, USA. I urge all Americans, including government officials, to observe this day by reflecting upon the importance of the rule of law in our nation and displaying the flag of the United States in support of this national observance. And I especially urge the legal profession, the press, and the radio, television, and media industries to promote and participate in the observance of this day. Q. I kind of like that.
You know what? You know what's really funny? That the president did this. Joe Biden was on one of his little bunker shows and said the president should put all the flags half-mast.
Wow.
In remembrance of the dead. Blah, blah, blah,
in remembrance of Joe Biden dying? I mean, his campaign dying? Not him dying, but his campaign. Let me be clear.
I don't know if he's going to make it, to be honest with you. But
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. All right.
I think we got somebody waiting in the wings.
Oh yeah, like a vulture.
Hey, Carly, can you see the screen?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Can you
I
do
just
Q-
can't see, the little link there. You're gonna have to hit on that. But
What if Q is like, hey?
Q doesn't want me to talk.
Q's like, oh no, Carly's gonna do de facto standard Q.
Brand new Q post.
Brand new Q.
Q is going after the COVID hard, boy.
Yeah, he's going after the COVID scam hard, huh?
Yep. Exactly.
Wow. Thank you, Q. We gosh, this guy's amazing. I love you, Q. Press 17 if you love Q posting on the Matrix Groove Hour. I sure do.
Someone press 17 for Carly because I'm on the phone and I can't do it.
No, Carly's on the phone. Can't do it. She's either on the phone or recording stuff off the TV and laughing at it.
Oh, I got lots of those.
I can read though. I got it today.
Just real quick for you guys here. A de facto standard is a custom or convention that has achieved a dominant position by public acceptance or market forces. Latin phrase that means in fact, literally by or from fact, in the sense of in practice, but not necessarily ordained by law, or in practice or actuality, but not officially established, as opposed to de facto standard.
Wow.
So that to me means that we are setting the standard for the truth.
For the truth.
Yep.
Wow, guys, that's amazing. Let me get that capture in here. And then this is basically how we do the Q posts, guys. This is Matrix doing the Q posts.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and get you going, Carly. Go ahead and.
Am I reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Aye, aye. Okay. Crossfire hurricane, crossfire typhoon, crosswind, class 199, unreleased, redacted. You didn't think the statement by POTUS, re calm before the storm, was just random, did you? Transparency brings accountability. Q.
Wow.
And so this is making reference to all of the different crossfire that the FBI were running on our American citizens.
That's right.
People who were targeted just simply because they wanted to help or were asked to work with or in the Trump campaign or transition team.
That's right. And
now here's a question though. They made a crossfire hurricane, crossfire this and that. Now, POTUS said the calm before the storm. Now, weren't they investigating him before he said that? So basically, he knew the whole time, and that's why he said it.
Yep.
This is the calm before we go after their hurricane.
Yep.
That's so cool.
So here's Crossfire Typhoon, and I believe that is our president. Right? So let's go and check out the actual tweet over here. Maybe it'll be a little bit bigger. Let's check it out.
Yeah, it was definitely all redacted stuff, but there was a little bit in the middle.
Look at it, says Corsi.
Yeah, Dina Corsi is.
Oh, Dina Corsi, not Jerome Corsi. No relation.
No, it's no. It says.
Do we know that's no relation? Interesting.
We don't know it's no relation. We know it's not that person.
See the email next to it? It says DM Corsi and then Dina M.
Yep.
So that means that I'm just.
Yeah. So in my opinion, so Crossfire Typhoon is POTUS. Crossfire Razor seems to be Flynn.
Right.
So Crossfire Razor, provide a defensive briefing to him about crosswind. And beyond that, I am not certain. I think my preference would be to provide him a defensive briefing about blank, put him on notice and see what he does with that. If that's not possible, then continue in I can't read that. We need to discuss what happens if DOJ directs us or tells us, POTUS or anyone else, about the blank operation, probably, right? That Hussein knows all about. Specifically, WRT, what we do directly with him. I think it will be difficult not to do some sort of covert or overt step with him. A defensive briefing or interview under light. Defensive briefing, pretext, unless White House specifically directs us. Not in crosswind. Dude, unless the White House specifically directs us.
Yes, they're saying unless directly told by 44.
Impeach 45.
This WRT right there, I was thinking that it would be write, record, transmit.
Right.
Write, that's good.
Record, transmit, specifically what we do directly with him. So they write it down, they record it, and then they transmit. That's my idea.
No, that is absolutely perfect. And I think they want to write, record, transmit because they have daily briefings, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And
every day, they're getting updates.
And that, like, POTUS or anyone else about the briefing specifically, I think it's briefing is redacted there. Interesting. Wow, that really filled some stuff in. JT, look at you, brother. Let me give JT. JT, why don't you in 3, 2, 1 say boom. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom. There you go. Woo! That's a JT boom. That's a JT boom right there, guys. All right, here we go. So we're going to need a much bigger graphic. So when this is finished, a much bigger graphic will be needed. Much bigger. Biggest political scandal in American history, guys. You think that's all that did it, guys? You think that's
Nope.
it?
So
That's not it. That's just the puppeteers of the whole operation right there, though.
Wow, Frog Push Eye is telling us that we have a Q drop. We just covered it, my brother. Hit rewind. We have them all, and we get alerted on new Q drops. Just FYI.
So the siren will scare you.
Yeah, the siren will scare you, and
yeah, it makes me jump like every time.
I know it's awesome.
That's the point.
It's awesome.
It's like, wake up! And,
It's like a little adrenaline rush to get you going.
Yeah.
it is. It really is. It's crazy.
And for the people that said that there's a new Q, yep, we covered de facto standard. We even, defined what that means. We said why are influenza medications
yeah,
against
hit
COVID?
the Wikipedia like in 2 seconds, man.
Dude, he's like, go to the Urban Dictionary and see what
He's
that
on
means.
that so fast.
That's what I do.
Yeah. All right, so that's it. So we're gonna need a bigger Gitmo. We've got tons of indictments. We've got what 170 some odd thousand indictments or more.
Well, there's plenty of open football and baseball stadiums in case we need some overflow.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
absolutely.
we got those floating hospitals there, you know.
Yeah, good point. We got the floating hospital.
Empty floating hospitals.
And what is not funny is which is a fact, we spent $500 million renovating Gitmo.
Yeah.
And Q said we're going to need another Gitmo, and there's already plans for that. So, all right, Shady, why don't you, JT, take this one, 4013. Let's do you this time.
All right. I applaud the courage of Tara Reid to come forward to share her story. As we continue to learn more about these allegations against Joe Biden, we must ensure that Reid's rights to justice and privacy are respected. Choose someone else.
Hashtag choose someone else.
Hashtag
I love it. I love it. And then go ahead and read that one, my friend, at the bottom.
Used as a political tool to attack the other side, weaponized. Where are the pink hats? When you are awake, you are able to see clearly. Q.
Boom.
Boom.
Double standard bias in your media on full display for all of us sitting at home to see.
Sharon Markle says, I can't get Mo satisfaction.
I can't get Mo.
Get Mo.
I can't get Mo.
As in, we're going to need a bigger Gitmo. I love it. I love it. All right, so let's do this. I think it's Shady Groovy, Shady Latte. Why don't you take Q post
Here we go.
4014 on April 30th at 4:50 p.m.
Gives us the link to the Washington Examiner post, National Convention pushback a month to mid-August. Why are they pushing back the D-Convention? COVID-19 concern or strategic for last-minute change? Change of batter coming? Why was she saved from officially announcing? Why was she reserved for a last-minute change? How do you attempt to, quote, sneak one in? How do you attempt to ensure victory? Adopt a national vote by mail? How do you convince America it was legitimate? I think he wants to say Americans there. Release fake polls indicating favorable leads in swing states? How do you harm opponents' accomplishments regarding the economy, unemployment, et cetera, et cetera? How do you terminate opponents' highly effective rallies? Big deal right there because they were very effective. How do you shelter the Dem lead candidate from embarrassing debates and or rallies? How do you shelter Dem corruption regarding FISA, Russia, Flynn, et cetera, from reaching the mainstream? How do you extend the trade negotiation deadline with China? How do you shelter or how do you limit test constitutional rights of people? How do you provide cover for state governors to adopt new voter laws? How do you effectively control the population? How do you expand big tech overreach regarding tracing and privacy issues? How do you fix taxpayer bailout, the long broken economies of California and New York? How do you enrich select people, companies by promoting a solution to a global crisis? How do you keep people living in fear and isolation in order to accept the above? Define insurgency. How do you accomplish all of the above? Q.
Insurgency.
An insurgency, folks.
So do you see what they're doing here, guys? The COVID is fake. It's regular flu, influenza. It's regular stuff, guys.
Whatever it is that they tried, whatever it was that they were trying, it didn't work. Let's put it that way.
And here's the new Democrat National Convention. You know, they pushed back to a month to mid-August.
That means he's not going to have to announce a VP till mid-August.
That's right. And where is that convention being held, Shady? DNC convention.
At TrumpHair.com.
I love it.
Have you guys seen this place? Is it in Minnesota or where was it?
It is. Let me find images.
Oh, we got to show them the images because this is you just can't make
Location.
Have you seen this, Carly?
Yes, I have. It's so great.
Let me just
You
get
know how we see 17 everywhere? It's like it's 17 is as iconic as Trump's hair. You know?
It is amazing.
I don't love it.
Here we go. This is the actual place where the DNC is going to take place, guys. Oops. There you go. And here's get a bigger picture. Here you go.
That does not
It's
look
even
like
gold.
Trump
No.
hair.
It's gold. Gold.
How did the white hats not pick this out? It hurts. It does. I agree with it.
But we delayed it so we can, maybe put his nose and eyes and everything else in there.
I just want to, you can almost see the thing start dancing around. The head start bobbling.
China. Oh my God! you just can't. I mean, so that's you just can't. I just can't. So
I can't. I don't want to.
Here it is. I doubt the Democrat convention is going to be able to be held in mid-July, early July. I think it's going to have to move into August. The two-term vice president told NBC's The Show, starring Jimmy Fallon. We just have to be prepared for the alternative. We need people to mail in their votes. We need people to do this. We need to be scared. COVID.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. What do you think of that? All right, so I just got triggered a little bit.
Oh, how long are they going to try and hide this guy in the bunker, man?
Yeah, they are going, he came out again today. It didn't happen, period. It's like, dude, we know punctuation. Would you quit telling us there's a period at the end of a sentence?
So congratulations
Oh, it was,
at
I'm
QAnon
sorry.
Notables. QPost 415. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I did.
No. I was just saying, Joe came out today. They're asking the questions, and then they said, "Well, why don't you just?" Mika was like all over it. She was like, "Well, why don't you just look up her name in the records?" He's like, "What? No, you can't. It's not there." And then he's like stuttering, like it's not there. Why? Was it removed?
Yep.
I already got it.
And then you had.
I already deleted it.
What was it? Pete. It was a great video because Peter Ducey was recording it, and I just have his face with that Peter Ducey, like, yeah, right. Look at the end; it's priceless. Oh God, I love it. I love that kid because he's been following that moron around the whole time. He just can't take it.
It is too much to take. You're right.
I'm sorry.
All good. No. I didn't mean to step on you. I apologize.
No.
So here we go. This is
We're-
QPost 4015, guys, and this is at QAnon Notables. What a great account. If you guys are not following that, go ahead and get over there. And don't forget to get over at the JT Wild, at Carluska P, at Shady Groove. Get over there. So this is it. This is the 4015. So this is Susan Jijiki says anything that goes against the what does an owl say? Is violation of YouTube policies. All content isn't medically substantiated, such as advising people to take vitamin C. They will remove every platform. And we did.
So if anyone's curious about why the YouTube stream is all going crazy right now, we're getting ready to show you.
Yeah, this is it. This is why. Here's Adam Schiff. This is why, Shady. Adam Schiff wrote a letter to Alphabet Inc., a.k.a. and YouTube, which is Sundar Pichai and Susan Wojcicki, right? And they said, as we work to control the the COVID-19 pandemic, I want to thank you for your actions you have taken to ensure Google's users are provided with timely, authoritative, and factual sources. Google's motto is basically talking about information being available, all information being available. And if you question something, you can't have your information available. So their very own, what do you call it? Their very own saying is they're violating it. So, I mean, this is an amazing stuff, guys. I was encouraged to see your early commitment in working closely with other social media companies to jointly combat fraud and misinformation during this social or societal challenge, and transcends any other platform or service. Now, first of all, this is not my president. He wasn't elected. Who the hell does he think he is, Shady?
I don't know, but they're not even meeting in session right now. This is dated April 29th. They are all hiding out in their own little independent bunkers and won't let us open our house back up, but he can send letters to YouTube.
Right. And then he goes, despite your best efforts, however, users will continue to see and engage in harmful medical content on your platforms, whether by intentionally seeking it out or otherwise. Among the harmful misinformation currently on YouTube, this is why we got taken down, folks. Talking about that. And I'm not going to say it, but you can see my mouse. And this. Okay? The day we talked about that EO, Shady, we made one comment, well, maybe it is, but, and then we got taken down. We didn't say it was a fact. We didn't say anything. It's the first time we ever said anything about it, Shady.
Yep. We specifically tried not to and got overboard.
If you can't see the words, go to the Q post because I'm not saying it.
I ain't saying it.
I ain't saying it. And that's not my president. Schiff, I did not elect this guy. Here he is. Misinformation is dangerous. Misinformation about public health is deadly. I sent a letter to the CEOs of Google and YouTube and Twitter urging them to proactively inform users when they've interacted with medical misinformation. How about we can censor you about all the Russian misinformation?
Well, this is kind of hinted in here, and you might not quite understand, but what he's pretty much saying here, if you dig into this a little bit, is that he wants them to track you who have been exposed to misinformation. He wants these platforms to make sure that they're making sure that they know how many people might have been, quote, contaminated by misinformation. So,
and you know how they're doing it? Did you see there's a question about the content that you're watching that says that you approve? It says, I approve of controversial, something like that. I approve of this. And so then they can mark you as somebody who approves of all this stuff. And they're building a list.
Yep. That's exactly what's happening. They are building a list, just like what they did whenever they started building the list for all the Q accounts or any other thing that they're trying to control the operation. They're trying to control the people and the operation. And now I think little Schiff is starting to realize that this has gotten too far into the mainstream. And so now each of you who has objected to believing the narrative is now a turncoat in the minds of Adam Schiff.
Here's a good reminder of Schiff's lies in the House impeachment hearing. Watch Adam Schiff claim to be using parody to facilitate his lies about our president. This guy is sick. Schiff apparently thinks he's a comedian rather than the chairman of the House committee. Guys.
House Intelligence Committee, the Gang of Eight.
That's right. And head of a House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff, demands Google, YouTube, Twitter to step up their authoritative censorship and silencing. And on Thursday, Adam Schiff, the most dishonest and compulsive liar in Congress, sent a letter to the CEOs of Google, YouTube, and Twitter to urge them to use their authoritative powers to censor and silence voices during the corona pandemic. Now, we did see that Comey posted a rose. You guys remember what the rose means, correct?
This group does.
Yeah, they know what it is. It's socialist Democrats, folks.
It is the plan.
Was
the plan. Yeah, it's not working well right now.
Was.
Good point. Yeah, we've kind of screwed that up, didn't
right. we? Last week, the YouTube CEO told CNN and company that would silence anyone who strayed from official WHO owl sound make. What sound does the owl make?
Woo.
There,
Woo.
exactly. Google is cool with that. In fact, the company is very proud of her censorship. Remember, this in November, Democrats support this and more censorship and silencing. Schiff sent these letters off to Google, YouTube, and Twitter. And Q says, JT, take it away. Control
Control
there he
of the
is.
population. Sheep. Control of the narrative. Q. You know, I've got a lot to say about this one right here.
Well, say something.
Man, I'll tell you what. Okay, I heard
tell
the
you
greatest-
what.
I'll tell you what, man. Let me tell you something. I'm about to tell you something. You better listen.
I'll tell you what.
Let's listen.
So, you know, I heard an analogy about the bees, and it just hit me like a brick. And basically, so you have the bee who works all summer long, all spring long to build the honeycomb. And the second that they just can sit back and go, look what we built, the beekeeper comes along in protective gear, by the way, and just reaches in and pulls out the honeycomb and takes all of their hard work away from them. And we, as people looking at bees, see, that's no big deal, we get the honey. But that is exactly how these people are looking at us. And if you go back seriously, it's been happening for many years. But if you just look back into the future, into the past of the last 60 to 70 years, where, and let's just even start where at the Titanic, you have these moments where everything's going great. And in fact, right before this happened, I remember just driving and seeing new restaurants opening up, seeing clubs, bars everywhere. I was thinking, man, the work is just going to be limitless. Literally, right before this happened. And once again, the beekeeper in protective clothing comes along and pulls the honeycomb out right from under us. And it's getting too obvious not to see that the past, the way they've done it in the past, the way they're doing it right now, and what we need to do in the future. Okay, because it's actually really all we can do. We as people can just wake everybody up to this, and get them to buy locally, to keep their money in a local bank. There's a lot of things we can do to get off of that system. There's a lot.
Sovereign Stevie says, perfect analogy, JT. By the way, it seems, JT, that a lot of people are having problems with this stream right now. And if you could bump your mic up just a hair, JT.
Check. 1, 2.
There you go. Perfect. Right there. You were a little quiet, but it looks like even our mods are having a hard time with the stream, folks.
It's weird. If you're on a internet connection, it keeps cutting out. It seems if you go to like your phone connection, it seems to work. It's weird. Yeah.
Dale says he's having problems too. Stream keeps crashing. Refresh, guys, if you can. Live stream keeps cutting out, but we are all green.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah. So it is on YouTube side. All right. And Fiona says from down under that she's all good and she's on a laptop. So, it's just interesting. So just bear with us, folks. And we only have 1,399 people in here, but that's not only. You guys are so amazing, so appreciated. We love you so very much. Thank you for being here. Make sure you hit the thumbs up if you can. I would really appreciate it. And we're going to get on going to Q Post 416. Who wants to take 416?
I will.
Okay,
right.
you do it.
There you go.
Was the DNC hacked by Russia? CIA Brennan Force? Seth Rich internal DL hand-to-hand pass USA? CrowdStrike code insert? If FBI chain of command was corrupt, what other investigations were corrupted? How did they provide cover for? Who did they provide cover for? How far back did it go? Q.
Wow. And by the way, let's just make sure we understand that the error was X2 on the move. Okay. So Q said that the error was there. So was and was should be taken out. So the DNC hacked by Russia. So very interesting. So was X2. Interesting, right? So then it leads to, did I have another article? Nope, that's the next post. And then JT, take this one. You got it?
We are in it together, man.
Heck yeah.
In it together.
It's a big club, and we're all in it. We're all in it together.
I'm actually in a club.
I know. I'm with the cool kids, man.
I'm with the cool kids.
We're in a cult 45.
Hello from B2T Patriot in SoCal. God bless you guys. Story Voice Video Bear, thank you for coming. We are fans of Blessed to Teach. And I told everybody, remember Shady, we were on Blessed to Teach a couple nights ago, and we said, if you're from Blessed to Teach, tell them that Blessed to Teach sent you, and we'll give you a warm welcome if we can find you. Thank you very much. God bless you. Let's go to the next one. I think it's Shady's turn. Oh, wait. By the way, Shady, remember we went over the widespread outages?
Yes.
Barely covered. So widespread outages on gaming platforms, and then yesterday, the day later, on April 30th, that was April 29th, April 30th, there was a Cuban embassy shooting.
Imagine that.
In the U.S. Interesting, right?
Sure is very convenient.
So I just thought I would, in it to get her. Yep, together to get her. Absolutely. By the way, this is an article from 1026 of 17 called Typhoon Donald from Politico.
Wow. Indicating crossfire typhoon.
And how did Severus Snapes? How did what's that dude? What's his name again? Jeez.
Severus Snape.
I can't even say that guy's name. Severus Snape and Colbert. Interesting, right? They all are in it together. Not only are we in it together, they are in it together. Go ahead and who's next? I think Shady, you're next, brother.
All right. This is post number 420. Gives us a Hill article about Chris Hayes saying, when they can no longer control you, they remove you. Control the narrative, control of you. The news is fake, the war is real. Q. And they went after Chris Hayes on MSNBC because he did what I would consider a fairly puff piece on the claims of Tara Reade, which are very substantial at this point. I mean, you know, considering what they were running with Kavanaugh, this is incredible. I mean, you've got the lady who completely says it. She said yesterday that if if they will unseal Biden's records, that she would testify under oath.
Wow.
So they would have someone that's willing to come testify under oath, but they don't really care. Me Too hasn't tweeted at all.
So Shady, I want to point out a couple things because I know where your mind is at. You said this is Q Post 420 and puff piece. I'm just saying.
I did say that.
You did.
Like JD decoder.
I'm a Shady decoder. By the way, somebody's asking. You like that? So here we go. When is Joe M coming back? Clogging beats. Go to Sheep KNOW more. You're welcome. Sheep no more, as in no more, as in KNOW. You're welcome.
Don't tell anybody.
And puff puff give, says Brandon Burnett.
Puff puff give.
All right. Here we go.
Friday.
It's Friday. Chris Hayes was fired, guys, and also Shady.
He was fired?
Yeah,
They did fire him?
I thought so.
I thought it was just fire Chris Hayes was trending. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you're right.
Fired.
I decoded that
Okay.
wrong. I
Okay,
can
okay.
decode you, but not this article.
Oh, well, that's okay. That's 50%.
Right? I don't know. I guess I got it in here a couple times. I don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened. So let's go to 421. I missed 421. This is
I
421?
think you just maybe.
Yeah, dude, Q was going crazy. And by the way, after, it was kind of funny. I was hanging out with Kiwi and Sue last night. And remember the LK Dark to Light premiere, which is another one tomorrow or today after this show. QAnon was saying Kevin equals 61 and 61 is QAnon. And he said Kevin twice. And so I kept calling him Kevin last night. I kept calling Q Kevin last night.
Nice.
I did. But Kevin, you're killing me, Kevin.
You're killing me.
So 4021 is right here. This is the John Roberts Fox status. Think Signet. Think CIA. Think double agents. China thought they eliminated all in-country assets. And we're going to go here to the Chinese spies. Some things are better left untold. Covert or cover. Public truths of some events force wars. World War III prevent. Hello, Feinstein. Q. Let's go over to John Roberts' status right here, Shady.
Their little plan didn't work.
Here it is. John Roberts says, at real Donald Trump says he's seen intelligence that gives him a high degree of confidence that coronavirus originated from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Though he said would not go into detail. I can't say.
And I saw him make the comments that he made yesterday. He was very resolute in the way that he approached John Roberts, and then John pushed back on him even about, and he was like, I'm not gonna talk about it.
Because John Roberts wants a war, huh?
Well, I mean, everybody's going to realize at some point that this exact lab got almost $4 million right at the end of the Obama administration, and Dr. Fauci is overly involved along with Bill Gates in that project. You would think that people that are call themselves journalists would do a Google search once in a while, but they just can't seem to figure Google out.
They can't seem to see the truth, or they got editors. Okay, so this is interesting too. This is a New York Times article called that Q pointed us to: Killing CIA Informants, China Crippled U.S. Spying Operations. Note that it's written by Michael S. Schmidt, Shady.
Yes, I did notice that.
Okay.
And I'd like to also just point out for other people out there that the people who were giving foreign countries access to the SAPs also gave them access to our people on the ground in their country so that they could be eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Hillary.
And this is basically saying that they didn't get them all.
So the Chinese government systematically dismantled CIA spying operations in the country starting in 2010, killing or imprisoning more than a dozen sources over 2 years and crippling intelligence gathering there for years afterwards. Current and former American officials described the intelligence breach as one of the worst in decades. It sets off a scramble in Washington's intelligence and law enforcement agencies to contain the fallout, but investors were bitterly divided over the cause. Some were convinced that a mole within the CIA had betrayed the United States. Say it isn't so. Yes. Clowns in America. Others believe that the Chinese had hacked the covert system in the CIA, used to communicate with its foreign sources. Years later, the debate remains unsolved, even though we know that Feinstein had a CIA spy driving her around. But there was no disagreement about the damage. From final weeks of 2012 through the end of 2010 through the end of 2012, according to former officials, the Chinese killed at least a dozen CIA's sources. According to three of the officials, one was shot in the front of his colleagues in the courtyard of a government building, a message to others who might have been working for the C_A. Still, others were put in jail. All told, the Chinese killed and imprisoned 18 to 20 of the CIA's resources in China, according to two former American officials. So just kind of read a little bit of that article there. Let's go back to the Q post. Some things are better left untold. Covert. Public truths of some events force wars. World War III prevent. Hello, Feinstein.
And so I think that this is information for us to understand how they're trying to create a reaction. Everything is about a reaction. Each event, each world war, each war in general is set off by some sort of antagonistic event that is set up so that we react and it looks all legit on the surface. Right now, you've got a president that won't react to them. He will not play into all their games. Look at everything they've done from North Korea to you name it, and he won't react in the way they expect him to. And they're not learning that he's not going to. And they're also all running with this narrative that they had before the president was elected. Nobody thought this guy was going to be president. So they're all flying blind now. And the Q thing is really making them confused because Q posts stuff, and then you guys go post classified, what they think is classified information in their tweets.
Right.
And they don't understand how that's getting there. one way or the other, they think it's classified, but the truth is it's your government working in the world, which should be transparent.
That's right.
You got to remember too, you know, think CIA. CIA has operations all over the world. They had an operation in China. Who would want that operation shut down? And
Well,
how would they shut it down?
What if the CIA is China?
Well, what I'm
Double agents.
yeah, I'm just saying that by giving up the information of those agents, they can shut that particular investigation down to see, because there was probably so much evidence of how they've been, you know, the espionage they've been doing, and so there's no proof, there's no eyewitnesses anymore, and so truly that was kind of the shift of when the, you know, black hats took over the operation, because those were probably the last American type people that were working for us, and then they were executed.
Yeah, working White Hat possibly, or just, you know, I don't know, or, you know, one never knows. It's very interesting though. But they were possibly double agents. I mean, interesting. But I want to point out Signet was also in there. Signet basically, Clapper established on 15 December 2016. LL approved on January 2017 the election. They thought she would never lose. Treason Ross Signet 5I S23EO 1233 5I classified to D-class. Boom. So this is secret SIREL to USA 5I, and then there it is. Establish a foregoing raw signet availability procedures in accordance with section 23 of EO 1233. So that is interdasting. And then this is the EO 1233 executive order. It's basically goals, National Security Council. These are the executive orders, and there's who did it right there. Interesting. Just wanted to give you a little background on what signet could have been. Just interesting, right?
Very interesting that all of you know all of this, and all of them can't seem to figure out any of it.
No. Thank you, Q.
It's a very beautiful plan.
All right, here we go. This is Q Post answering 421 with 422 at 4:30 at 18:49 right here, Shady.
And this says matters of national security. Q.
That's right. Then we got the next one. It's Twitter to the GOP chairwoman. Says control Q, and let's head over there. This is yesterday. A massive story broke about FBI malfeasance at the dawn of President Trump's real administration. Excuse me. How many times did the mainstream media mention it during their morning shows?
0.0.
Right. And we noticed yesterday, we were looking on the foreign media controlled Drudge Report that Masks, as used to be a good conservative site, now it's trying to sway the conservative brains with foreign, possibly China, propaganda. They had not one mention of Flynn.
They still have not run a story on Drudge about General Flynn. Not a story at all. It's all pandemic. It's all the economy's crashing. It's all doom and gloom, and not a single story about extraordinary malfeasance at the tops of the FBI and the DOJ. I mean,
So I just typed in Flynn Shady for a search.
Yep.
Guess how many hits?
0.0.
That's right.
It won't be long,
And
though.
mainstream
The deluge is
media
coming.
news last night, you had Maddow talking about jails, prisons where they were revolting because they weren't being taken care of, and she had the bleeped out cursing and stuff. That was Maddow's show last night. You had Joe, Morning Joe and crew today making fun of the president, how he inserts himself in, and he's working for China. Not one mention.
Well, I mean, a lot of people. Okay, so this is really getting fascinating to watch, because what China is actually doing is that they're running propaganda on the whole world. You guys, I mean, you don't understand what's happening out there, but the whole world news Like everyone else in the world is getting the news that the COVID virus came from America. Do you understand that? Like every country is reporting through their globalist news sources that the virus came from America. China is blaming America because our numbers are so high, and they stopped reporting 45 days ago. And so that's the general narrative that's kind of being run right now out there in public. And just to mention about the Flynn story, they didn't have any information on that on the morning news all across the country either. So a complete morning news blackout on all major networks as well as national news. So they really think they're going to be able to ride out this storm on this corruption in the FBI and the DOJ, and there's just too many people awake to do that now.
And here you go, Shady. This is national security right here. Thank you, Demos. I appreciate that. Pretty interesting. So, this is the part that Demos wanted to look at. 99730 disclosures of foreign influence operations. Foreign influence operations include covert actions by foreign governments intended to sow divisions in our society. Like we're just looking at the Drudge Report, right? Undermine confidence in our democrat institutions and otherwise affect political sentiment and political discourse to achieve strategic geopolitical objectives. Such operations are often empowered by modern technology that facilitates malicious cyber activity and covert or anonymous communications with U.S. audiences on a mass scale from abroad. Our nation's democrat processes, our republic, and institutions are strong and must remain resilient in the face of this threat. They're considering us this, guys. That's why they call you Russian bots, right? But in turn, they're the ones that are foreign owned. Projection, correct? You guys got that? I totally agree. Also, there could be, we've got to be careful too, because a little bird told me, Shady, something pretty incredible. And let me just tell you real quick. It just basically says, soon to be dark. Dead air. Are we online still?
We are.
Yeah, I don't see what you did. I only see the Q
It's my
post.
comment. Yeah, I was just talking. Sorry.
Oh.
All right, we'll go 4024. Who wants to take it?
I'm here.
Go for it.
All right, here we go. Sometimes you can't tell the public the truth. You must show them. A deeply entrenched enemy who controls the vast majority of communications is only defeated by the truth. Game theory, Q. And that's the game theory, that they cannot win with propaganda, and the truth always defeats the propaganda. So we have to have the truth, and that's why this Q operation was so important, and that's why all the mainstream alternative and mainstream news are against us, because they don't like information coming out that isn't coming from their, quote, known sources.
Right. Well, it's a well-informed public, right? That's who a well-informed public is the answer to the ...
That's 10 dots. Defeated. So it's 10 words defeated. Is what I thought it was. I thought it would be insurgency or Occam Razor, or because I counted 10 dots. Repetition. I'm trying to find out what 10 dots are.
3, 3, and 4 would be the word structure if it's or letters.
Wouldn't it be?
No, that's just the way the ellipsis.
No.
That's just how they do it. Maybe 3, 3, 4.
I was just saying 3, 3, 3, like one word with 3 letters, another word with 3 letters, and then a word with 4 letters is possible there.
Yep, that's true. But if you look at game theory too, it kind of talks about repetition.
True.
Occam's razor, but take out the S. Occam's razor.
Oh, yeah, Occam's razor.
If that's just 10 letters instead of 3, 3, 4. But interesting, right? I had some, people. I asked the question, if people ever see my tweets, they might, look at it.
They have them all disconnected now, man. It's like you got to click on every one to see the threads. I mean, they're trying like
this.
Crazy. Yeah, like
to other people. Like other people don't see it like this, huh?
Yeah, whenever you click on it, you got to click on each tweet to see the ones below, or it doesn't show them. So like your first tweet doesn't really look like anything's connected to it unless you click it the second time now.
Wow.
Yep.
All threads are like that kind of now on Twitter.
So here's Q post 4025. Flynn targeted why? Who knows where the bodies are buried? Cleared of all charges. Trump admin V2. And let's head over to Breaking 911 because this is a great video. Here we go.
You said that Michael Flynn would come back even bigger and better. So are you going to pardon him? And if so, are you considering to bring him back into your administration?
Well, it looks to me like Michael Flynn would be exonerated based on everything I see. Look, I'm not the judge, but I have a different type of power. But I don't know that anybody would have to use that power. I think he's exonerated everything. I've never seen anything like it. What they did, what they wrote, you see this, General. You wouldn't want this happening to you, what they did to General Flynn. And it's just disgraceful. So, you know, I guess we'll get to that maybe someday or maybe not. Hopefully we won't have to get there.
Well, would you consider bringing him back into your administration?
Well, I think he's a fine man. I think it's terrible what they did to him. It's something that nobody's asked me, but you're asking me for the first time. I would certainly consider it. Yeah, I would. I think he's a fine man. I think he's got a great family. He loves his son. I will tell you, his son was around a lot, and he loves his son, and as people generally do. And they did everything possible to destroy him. And he's still breathing very strongly, but they really hurt him very badly. Very, very unfair. Kristen?
Quick follow. In what capacity? I do have a coronavirus-related question, but in what capacity would you bring him back?
Well, we'd look. I mean, I'm not even. This is really the first time I've been asked a question, but I think he'll be fully exonerated one way or the other, and so certainly he'd be capable of coming back. He suffered greatly.
That's not the first time he was asked that. Chanel asked him that the other day in the Rose Garden.
From OAN.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I
Our
remember that.
Chanel angel.
Mm-hmm.
And he really, like he says this twice, he said, this is the first time I'm asked this. Like, it's what, you know, he speaks in code. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he does.
You know, so it means something there that for him to specifically say, this is the first time I've been asked, and for him to say it twice when we all know he's been asked it before by Chanel from OAN, who they don't acknowledge as a reporter.
Yeah, and he calls on her a lot now.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Bezos is got to go before the House in an antitrust probe?
Oh, really?
Congress summons Amazon CEO Bezos.
Good deal. Well, let's
He
talk
just
about
made more money than ever in the last couple of days. He's made so much money.
Well, we got a few other issues with him too, like our postal service and the Washington Post. So he's got a lot of explaining to do. Well, the postal service is his issue, but
Head the FBI.
well, I 100% think that he's coming back, and I think that he will not come back in any less of a position than the position that he was granted by the president. Let's say that.
Do you
Right
think
on.
he'd want to come back after all of this?
Absolutely.
Did you see that flag he posted yesterday?
Did you read? Were you there when we read his testimonial?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He loves his country. He wants to serve his country, and he would like to continue the work he started and was so rudely interrupted from doing.
Yeah, so I guess I was
That's my
Matrixxx shady.
opinion.
So let me just reiterate. It was what I said is Flynn is coming back into the cabinet. There are theories out there that V2 could mean like vice president. Also, you know, I was thinking maybe DNI, maybe N_A, since that's going to be in charge of C_A. If you look at Q post 129, but either way, whatever it may be, whatever capacity, Flynn could be coming back to the cabinet. That's what I kind of said when I was in the Matrixxx. Sorry, guys.
I know he wouldn't turn down any request. How about that? If the president requested him to come fill a position, he would be there in a snap.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yep. And now we got Adam Schiff censoring us, guys. That is a great point. Adam Schiff, the House, censoring us, folks. Crazy. Who's got the next turn? 4026. JT.
JT. All right, cool. Paint the roses red to frantically attempt to cover up a mistake with severe consequences. Popularized by Alice in Wonderland. I accidentally broke me mom's favorite antique vase, so I had to paint the roses red. Hashtag cover up, hashtag fix, hashtag duct tape, hashtag clean, hashtag save. And then it goes to the Twitter of Comey with the rose, and it says denied, justice will be served. Q.
Boom. Wow. There you go. And there's a comforting sign for our spring in our garden.
Comforting sign for patriots who know the truth.
Yeah. Pain.
Because he's signaling right there, and he is scared.
Right. And then Q goes on a rampage. So this was what was that? Odinga campaign in Kenya. There's Michelle. We did a tin eye on that last night, Shady. That's Odinga campaign. And Odinga wanted to bring Sharia law to Kenya. And that is, I believe it's Kenya. And that is Barack Hussein Obama in his Christian garb.
I would think that is not his Christian garb.
Right. Sorry, I thought he was not Muslim.
Yeah, that was the narrative interfering with what you were seeing.
Right. All right, here we go. So this is infiltration instead of evasion. Hashtag QAnon. Congratulations, Greg. At Greg KOTSEOS. Here we go. Let's watch this.
If you have not seen this,
but for more than 3 decades, I have also had the tremendous.
Sorry, Shady.
No, I was just saying, if you haven't seen this, just pay close attention to what he says right here.
Sure. Here we go. He's got his Christian garb on too, right, Shady? Here we go.
But for more than 3 decades, I have also had the tremendous fortune to travel the world. And as part of that experience, to learn about the goodness and beauty of Islam. As a college student in the 1970s, I spent a summer traveling through Indonesia, taking in the wonderful landscape, culture, and people of Java and Bali. Despite my long hair, my earring, and my obvious American appearance, I was welcomed throughout that country in a way that is a reflection of the tremendous warmth of Islamic cultures and societies. Like the president during his childhood years in Jakarta, I came to see Islam, not how it is often misrepresented, but for what it is, how it is practiced every day by well over 1 billion Muslims worldwide, a faith of peace and tolerance and great diversity. And if you permit me, or I should say, اسمح بعد إندونيسيا سافرت إلى مصر وهناك درست عربية في جامعة أمريكية في القاهرة وهذا في سنة 1975 و 76 وسافرت إلى الأردن وفلسطين والقدس وتونس وبعد مصر ساكن في الشرق الأوسط تقريبا 6 سنة لكن الآن أنا أجوز أنا كنت طالب وشباب لما درست عربية لكن الآن نسيت أكثرية اللغة كسلان لسان كسلان متأسف لكن ممكن إن شاء الله سوف أدرس عربية مرة ثانية إن شاء الله عفواً.
Wow. There you have it.
Normal?
That's normal, right?
That's completely normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
infiltration.
disturbing on so many levels.
Yep. They're all coordinated. They're all connected. And the enemy in which they paint is the enemy in which they control.
Let's keep going. Here we go, Shady.
I'd like to just real quick, before we jump into the next one, remind everyone of the video that we watched with General Flynn yesterday and what he had to say about, quote, radical Islamist terrorism.
We didn't play that one yesterday, did we?
Yeah, we did. We played the one where Flynn talked about what his opinions were of who our enemy was.
Because that's in this thread. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I didn't think we played that one yesterday. We did. Did we?
We sure did.
All right. Interesting. Because I did it last night. Interesting. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. I don't even know what day it is. 428. So this is, I'm sorry if I forgot. This is the NatSec Lisa, right? This is Lisa Lovergirl Page. She says, Iran is smart and strategic and all over the world. Iran isn't an irrational actor, but they have pride for 5,000-year-old culture. I fear they are going to hit back in a way to remind America that they are a real and independent country. I hope I'm wrong. Pretty creepy, right?
So just see how this all works. Like, they are representing the deep state in Iran, and then they are trying to make separation between the people in Iran and the people here. And like, oh, well, you shouldn't hate Iranians. We don't disagree with the Iranian people at all.
That's
It's
right.
their government. But they, the ones who need us fearful, word things in very specific patterns.
That's right.
They want you to think certain things. They want you to think that we need to just destroy the country of Iran. I don't think that. Matrix doesn't think that. None of us think that we need to be destroying the country of Iran. What we think is that we need to get the regime of mullahs to come out of power by undermining their networks of control.
So exactly right, Shady. And we put those those people in in power, right? And this is another one. This is Peter Strzok's dad, Shady. So Q is going to continue to show us who these people are. Peter Strzok, that was his dad. America as a country is designed, or what is it?
Despised.
Despised. Oh yeah, America as a country is despised because it was seen as a supporter of the Shah of Iran, but individual Americans were treated well in respect to the crisis of Iran, according to a former Gilman area man who left the Asian nation. So basically, Peter Strzok, 43 at that time, this is Peter Strzok's dad, Mr. and Mrs. Mike Strzok, are now living in East Clare, and said he hopes the government of Ayatollah Khomeini? Okay, Ayatollah Khomeini will stabilize the country. I'd like very much to be back in Iran. So he lived in Iran, and so Peter Strzok was born in Iran, I believe, too. Is that right?
That's what I was under the understanding of, that he was born there.
Gotcha. Very interesting. Let me just make this a little smaller. There we go, so I can... There. Bad picture, sorry, guys. But here's Britannica, right? So this is continuing. Who else is a Muslim? Now, remember, this is not against Muslims. This is against radical Islamicism, right? This is against radical Islam, not the good people of Islam, because there are good people in Islam. I just want to make sure you guys understand that, right? I understand that. Shady?
I understand that.
All right. Carly?
Yep.
JT?
Yes, sir.
All right. I just want to make sure. All right. So here's Valerie Jarrett. She was an American lawyer. She was born in Iran, guys. There she is. She's 63.
And let's note that she was Hussein's #1 go-to, quote, handler.
And here we go to the M1R1 hacking scandal again. The Daily Caller Foundation, this is the Awan brothers who worked as IT aides for many Democrat members of Congress, including Florida Rep. Wasserman Schultz, including, what's his name down there that we want to get out?
Deutsch.
Ted Deutsch. Guys, the brothers were not given background checks. They were just trusted because they are part of their plan. Okay.
So Valerie Jarrett was handling Barack Obama, and Huma Abedin has been handling Hillary Clinton since the 90s.
Is she still living with them? Is she? Did she get to go to the new house?
I don't know.
She just like disappeared, right?
She's in the attic.
Oh.
Radical Muslims, radical Islamicists in the attic. Here we go. This is a political story. Iran nuclear deal, prisoner release. This is Obama's hidden Iran deal giveaway by dropping charges against major arms targets. The administration infuriated the Justice Department officials and undermined its own counter-proliferation task force, guys. We also have the deal that they made. Also, let's keep going because we keep going here. This is Twitter Deep State Expose. This is with the steps I ordered last month. We are speeding up the training of ISIS force with Sunni volunteers. Obama.
Huh?
Let's go see.
What was that quote?
Here we go. Let's
He's
hear
training
it.
ISIS.
As I've said before, this aspect of our strategy was moving too slowly, but the fall of Ramadi has galvanized the Iraqi government. So with the additional steps I ordered last month, we're speeding up training of ISIL forces, including volunteers from Sunni tribes in Anbar province.
Now, he uses ISIL and ISIS, and ISIL is a slap in the face to you and I, right?
Yes, ISIL he was referring to there almost every time he said that as a little bit of a tongue slide so that, you don't have to talk about the truth, but you sort of tell the truth.
And it's Levant.
Levant,
thank you. This is a Michigan radio org post. Tensions flare on the Senate floor over GOP senators' Muslim Brotherhood remarks, guys. It's not just the D's. Let's just go to that article real quick so we check it out for our Q team. Here we go. Tensions were high over the Senate floor today when a lawmaker doubled down on claims that Muslim terrorist groups are trying to infiltrate the U.S. Republican Senator Patrick Colbeck R. Canton is running for governor. A BuzzFeed article recently uncovered a presentation Colbeck gave. In it, he accuses Democrat candidate for governor for having ties to the Muslim Brotherhood.
And this is a 2-year, almost just a little over a 2-year delta on this. And just to let everybody else know that this story is absolutely huge. And we have so much sauce on these people and what they're doing. It is incredible. And we've sort of been kind of hanging back and waiting for Q to kind of push the way forward on this. But what's going on in South Florida and what was going on in Florida with the IT people and these people stealing and manipulating and blackmailing your congressman, it is crazy.
Yeah. And, it's amazing. And so you're called a racist and they lump you into, oh, you don't like Muslims. No, that's not what I'm saying. This is it. This is the radical anti-U.S. agenda. And here's the same side of two coin. In fact, when I met somebody recently, he was like, why does Ted Deutsch always say that he's Jewish and hide behind his father? And he looked at me and I'm like, I don't know. So I went back with Kiwi and Sue, and I said, we need to dig into that. I mean, there's something there. So basically, Ted Deutsch always says the Jewish Florida House member in Florida 22, chairman of the House Florida Investigators Committee, always says Jewish. But Radical Ted, whilst claiming to be very pro-Israel, he's also cozying up with Islamist jihadist groups, guys, like the Muslim Brotherhood and CARE, which are terrorist organizations, playing on both radical sides of a progressive division tactic. Fayez, Ted, and Bernie are all pushing a Soros agenda, a radical Islamicist agenda. Now, this is George Soros. He's the Ukrainian puppet master, trained puppet Fayez Shakar. And Fayez Shakar is Bernie's campaign manager, guys. Bernie
Sanders.
Bernie Sanders. And this guy previously worked for Think Progress, the Center for American Progress, founded by John Pito Esta. Fayez has strong ties to the radical Muslim Brotherhood terrorist organizations. Fayez held a fundraiser in 2000 for the Holy Land Foundation that acted as a fundraiser arm for Hamas in the U.S., folks. That's Bernie.
And so let me paint the picture here a little bit of how they're playing this. Did you see the comparison between the de Blasio tweets where he tweeted about the Muslim community a week ago and how we were going to help them and support them and bring them meals and all this stuff. And then he attacked the Jewish community yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so now look at what's happening there. Now let's look in Minnesota. What we have going on in Minnesota right now is that they are saying in the Muslim population in Minnesota that the COVID is brought on them by the Jewish population. And so they're saying in Minnesota right now, they're acting like they need to arm themselves against the Jews. So you're seeing this division set up perfectly play out right in front of us, and they literally are trying to create a seam or a crack in the American landscape, in the fabric of our country. They're trying to rip it.
Absolutely.
And they are infiltrated way deeper than most people can even fathom.
Yeah, so where we go, one we go all is the next post, but I can't see it because I'm blocked by this particular person. So,
They had the 16-year plan. Thank gosh it got interrupted 8 years into it. But I believe really that we have a 16-year plan too.
It's going to be at least that.
At least.
That's going to be at least 16.
It's going to be a lifetime plan because, we only can keep our republic if we can keep it, right?
Exactly.
All right, here we go. Q4037, one step at a time. Q. And by the way, that other post was Michelle Bachmann exposing the Muslim Brotherhood. So here we go. This is one step at a time. Q. And Shady, is there a step 5?
There's no step 5.
Gotcha. Thank you. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. So also I said, hey, Q. I was hanging with Kiwi and Sue, and I'm like, hey, he missed Clapper. And this is the Brotherhood operatives within the U.S. government may have direct influence U.S. intelligence community assessment of the Muslim Brotherhood. You see that? Read that again. Brotherhood operatives within the U.S. government may have directly influenced the U.S. intelligence community's assessment of Muslim Brotherhood, as presented by the National Director Intelligence, James Clapper, in testimony before the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence on February 10th, 2011. So I said, hey, Q, you missed Clapper. Exactly 20 minutes later, we get this post, and it's a Q post that goes over to an opinion, 4038, and it says, it's time for Intelligence Director Clapper to resign, and this is May 7th, 2015. James Clapper is a man who served his country with magnanimous distinction. He is intellectually brilliant. Later, such person deserves the utmost respect, blah, 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 blah. He has been placed in a very austere predicament, forcing him to play political games. He took an oath throughout his career, swearing to protect all enemies, foreign and domestic. But he screwed that up, didn't he, Shady?
Yeah, he definitely messed that up.
So I said, well done, Q. Thank you. This is also pretty interesting. Should the U.S., under Hussein, send $400 million to Hamas rather than Israel? That's exactly what happened here in this video. Here it is.
I also don't think it was a good signal for the president to give $400 million in aid to Gaza. He had a choice to make last week. The president could have had the choice between standing with Benjamin Netanyahu or standing with Ahmadinejad and Hamas. Hamas is a terrorist organization. This should not have been a difficult choice, but the president chose to stand with Hamas, and then they were rewarded this week with $400 million in aid. Gee, you don't think that will embolden them to take future aggressive actions against Israel, do you? I mean, these are very serious consequences, and we have to consider them, I think, very strongly.
Congresswoman, we talked about that at the top of the show, the fact that we are considering giving $400 million to an area that is controlled by Hamas. Now, I know the administration is going to say...
Yeah, that's all you need to hear, guys. We get it, right? So the red rose is Iran's national flower as well, Shady, which is very interesting.
Yes, sir.
Keep going. This is what I wanted to point out here. This is Mr. Ratcliffe. Let me move on to a text message on September 2nd of 2016. It's a series of texts that you exchanged with Agent Strzok. At one point, you texted him, yes, because POTUS wants to know everything we are doing. Mr. Page, oh, yeah. I don't see where it is, but I know it is, yeah. Mr. Radcliffe, okay. And you don't know the context of what it is, Miss Page. It is in the context of Well, first of all, So it's POTUS, I'm assuming. That's President Obama. President Obama. Okay. Knowingly, folks. That's a damning text exchange, you think?
Sure is.
All right, and there's that one there.
Wasn't that? Oh, is that unredacted? We read that before when it was redacted a long time ago.
Long time ago, yeah, because we're able to do the digging and find stuff like this, but the mainstream foreign-controlled media can't find it, and we're being censored.
Right.
You understand what's happening? We all do now. This is the video I think you were talking about. Here we go.
This is a political system. Islam is a political ideology based on a religion. So this is a political system that we are facing, and we must defeat this political system. When you are facing an adversary, okay, which I have faced these guys and also other adversaries of our country, you cannot sit there and go, geez, I don't know who, I wonder who these guys are, sort of twiddling your thumbs. You can't sit there and say, I can't clearly define this enemy, because when you cannot clearly define the threats that you're facing, you then cannot develop a strategy to defeat it. So you must clearly, precisely, and thoughtfully define the enemy that you are facing, that we are facing. We are in a war. It's a war declared by our enemy. And our government does not allow those in government to be able to clearly define what it is that we're facing. Radical Islamists and radical Islamism. Isms that we faced over the last 75 years, Nazism, fascism, communism, that now it's radical Islamism. It is a cancerous, barbaric, vicious form of element inside of the Islamic system. Islam is a political ideology based on a religion. So this is a political system that we are facing, and we must defeat this political system, the cancerous form of this political system, which is this radical Islam.
Wow. So does this sound familiar right here? Let me see. Here it is, 124.
Nazism, fascism, communism, that now it's radical
Here, wait.
Isms that we faced over the last 75
isms.
That's what we're all facing. Isms are divisions.
Racisms,
Sexism.
Nazisms, fascisms, communism, sexism, misogynism,
Socialism.
Islam, radical Islamism. This is a very good one right here. This is General Flynn. It's about 11 minutes long. I think you need to, check it out on your own because we're running out of time here, and we got more Q posts to go. So let's go over to this one right here, guys. This is the Q thread for 5/1/20. This will be my thread for all Q posts for Friday, May 1st, May Day, Law Day. Happy Law Day. Let's go. intheMatrixxx.com. Make sure you get over there, check it out. And this is Q right here drops this. A YouTube video with Band's Army Mill. And there's the YouTube video. It's the one with the flag. And then to the color. To the color is a bugle call to render honors to the nation. It is used when no band is available to render honors or in ceremonies requiring honors to the nation more than once. To the color commands all the same courtesies as the national anthem. In other words, if you're on a military base and you hear to the color, you must turn to the flag, the closest flag possible. Or if you don't, you turn around. If you don't see the flag, you turn around to face the music, Shady.
Yes, sir.
So if you don't have a flag, you're going to face the music.
That seems to be popcorn worthy.
Is that a decode?
Boom.
It's better than the 421, isn't it? All right, let's check it out. This is basically them put together. Here we go.
Wow.
Beautiful, eh?
Very important to note the time that Q posted this.
Let's
right
go look.
in the,
2
right in
seconds
the
in.
very beginning of the new law day.
Yes, sir.
At the dawn of a new day. They are no longer in control. See the timestamp?
Yeah, 00000002.
Right at the beginning of the start of your new country, ladies and gentlemen.
And I had to do a new thread, Shady.
I know, because of 2 seconds.
2 seconds. All right, I want to just bring this up real quick. I thought this was interesting. It was going around yesterday. I think We're All Mad Here dropped this in. Or no, I can't remember. Was it Katie? I can't remember. Somebody dropped it in the Q Army Plus. In fact, if you want to join the Q Army Plus, go over to Patreon, link below. $10 or more gets you into the Q Army Plus server. We head over there a lot, hang out with you guys, get to know you. But look at this. This is a letter from Barack Hussein Obama and the texts that were released, right? From the Flynn case. Get him to lie. You can present him or get him fired. Look at the F's, very simple. Look at the C's, very simple. Look at the word can, very similar. Look at the word to, damn near exact. Is this Barack Hussein Obama's handwriting in the General Flynn case? Question mark. It was Katie. Thanks, Katie. Thanks, we're all mad here. Look at that. Dead air.
Looks very compelling to me, my friend.
Man, that does.
I mean, I'm kind of just looking at it for the second time.
Like head exploding, like when I saw it.
Yeah, I mean the F is an absolute match. So,
and look at the two.
The TO, yeah.
Look at the or in 4. Look at the F in fired in 4.
Oh my gosh, if they can prove that this guy was writing the notes for the FBI. Holy
now,
crap.
I want to just, Joe Ray says, yes, it's Hussein's writing. I want to just, say, I think it might be as well, but I am no handwriting expert by any means.
I'm not an expert on anything.
But I do have eyes.
And I have a logic process.
Right. And a logic process. So this goes all the way up to 44, guys.
Whether it's him writing it or not, they were doing it for him.
That's right. Again, this is a song, To the Color is a song played on military bases, and the correct protocol is to stop and face the flag. If a flag can't be seen, the correct protocol is to face the direction the music is coming from. Face the music.
Musical chairs?
Time to pay the piper, Shady. Time to face your charges of treason. Face the music. Because you don't have a flag. Not you, but they don't have a flag. They're globalism. They're not of this country.
They have a flag, but if
we're infiltrated.
It would look more like what you would call a pirate flag if you were to look at their flag.
That's a good point. Or China. But pirate flag, I like it. I'm going with that. Exactly right. They have looted our country. America was for sale. It is for sale no more.
I like the idea of a transparent government, and I think that once people realize that it isn't, that they're going to like that a lot better as well.
That's right. Me too.
I mean, that's what we're working so hard to do, is to try to wake people up. Like, show how many people that are still scared to death about this whole thing that we're talking about here. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. This is just ridiculous on its face.
It is. It is. And we're awake. We are awake to see it. Guys, where's one of our wonderful, beautiful, talkative guests? Who's got the next one?
I'll take it.
I got you. You got it?
All right, JT. Ladies first, Carly.
Lady, exactly.
What?
Ladies first.
11,356 COVID-19, 54,217 pneumonia, influenza, or COVID-19. Influenza death rate low versus previous years. Knowledge is power. Information warfare. Q.
And it leads to this PDF right here, and it's of the CDC. Let me just go to the actual link.
So This
Yeah.
graph proves that we've cured the flu and that we've gotten COVID.
Yes.
I see.
Yes. So
We've
this is
cured
the
heart attacks too.
Oh yeah, and dementia and Alzheimer's.
and death by ventilator.
Oh yeah,
And no one
car
breaks
accidents.
bones anymore. No
Right.
one breaks their leg.
No one's dying from fentanyl.
Yep.
It's crazy. This is a miracle.
It's a miracle.
It
It
is.
should be a
It's
great
a
day.
mass
Happy
healing.
Law Day.
It's a mass healing.
It is, right? It's amazing. So logical thinking, guys. Knowledge is power. Information warfare. Now, remember, yesterday we went over the knowledge is power. You know, these hospitals that serve us, we can tell them yes or no. You guys understand that, right? And we can say, hey, I have the information here. I want to use this for my treatment. Be armed with power. You know, God forbid you get anything. So
And let me, I want to add a little bit of empowerment to you. I know that everyone tells you that you have to have vaccines, and everyone tells you that you have to do this and that you have to do this with your kids and all of these different things, or you have to have this to do that. The truth of the matter is, no, you don't. You don't have to have anything to do anything that you don't want, period, full stop. That's a shout out to Joe Biden, period. Okay?
Period.
It's the truth.
Look,
And-
Jack.
yeah, right. And we all have had a little bit of enough being pushed around by these people that say that we can't do things unless we get a shot. This is ridiculous, and we need to stand up and be a little bit more free in our expression of these facts.
Gotcha. All right, so what time is LK's premiere, mods? If you guys can drop that in the general, I'd appreciate that. Over there in the Q Army Plus server, because I don't know what time it is. Check that out. So here we go. This is Q Post 4041, and JT, sir, why don't you take it, please?
Why are children immune to COVID-19? How many children die from influenza each year? Why are elderly more at risk to COVID-19? How many elderly die from influenza each year? Q.
Wow. So here's the graph right here, Shady. You want to kind of go through that a little bit? Look at that.
Well, this is proof positive that it's a psyop.
It is. It's to get rid of the old people, the dead weight.
Well, that is one position, sure, but also
sorry to take it to the, but
well,
it's
no,
true.
but they're pretending like the older folks that are dying of COVID, whenever more than likely they're experiencing natural end of life scenarios.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So why is Cuomo putting COVID patients in the nursing homes and killing the people there?
Because that's what he has to do. He's got to get that death toll up. That's why they did that. That's exactly why they did that, because the death toll wasn't hitting the numbers they needed to hit. I mean, I had the video on that I took of the European lady. I don't know if you guys saw that, but she straight up said, we haven't infected enough people with COVID-19.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Does this break their heart that they want you dead,
crazy.
Shady?
They don't want you dead. They just don't want you to be able to think or function or talk to people. They just want you to be able to do your job and then die slowly so that they can tax you for as long as possible.
Right.
And they don't want people to know that HCQ cures people. And because once they know that, once we all know that, then we're not going to be worried about all of these crazy things that they're throwing at us.
Well, I'm glad you actually mentioned that, because I meant to come back around to that point. The reason that they put commercials on TV for all of these 3 million different who knows what that they put on TV that they want you to ask your doctor about,
yeah,
cause bloating and but ask your doctor. The reason they say ask your doctor, because they're tricking you. They're tricking you into asking your doctor, because when you ask your doctor for something that you want to use, he has to listen to you. So they're basically tricking you into going and requesting, like, oh, ask your doctor about this blood thinner. And then you go ask your doctor, say, I want some of this because I saw it on TV. Well, now you've seen HCQ on TV. Go ask your doctor about HCQ.
That's right. And it's funny
like
too.
a
They show
vampire.
this commercial. It's like, can cause diarrhea, severe crotch melting, and all this other stuff. And there's a butterfly flying around. You could end up with suicidal thoughts and killing yourself, but ask your doctor.
Right. because
It's
your
crazy.
doctor will be happy to give it to you because all of the pharmaceutical people are sitting there right behind your doctor, going to his office every day and giving him samples to give out.
And Shady, your insurance doesn't cover it, so that's going to be $1,000 a time.
Yes, please. Yes, that will be $1,000 a time, please.
Yeah, I
Oh,
said crotch melting.
maybe you should just get the vaccine. The vaccine's gonna be free.
Yeah.
Man, I hate to do,
Realize
there's
a vampire cannot come in your house unless you invite them in.
That is true.
breaking story, you guys.
Go ahead.
14-year-old claims Biden sexually harassed her.
Oh God.
What?
Yeah, it just came out. Law and Crime.
Nice. Not nice, but
Finally, a kid.
All right,
That's what he really does. He's the kid diddler.
Wow.
Eva Marie told Law and Crime that Biden complimented her on the size of her at the first state Gridden dinner and show in 2008, a long-running roast of and party for politicians, journalists, and prominent business figures held each year in Delaware. Murray says she remembers the event occurring sometime around May of that year. One friend of her sister said that Murray told her details of the alleged incident more or less immediately after it happened. 4 other friends were said told of the incident. The same details between the 2 or 3 originally occurred. Oh, maybe he just said something to her. Whatever. I don't know.
Dude, we got it on video saying
Kavanaugh.
I want you to make movies like my granddaughter. Talk to my granddaughter. She makes movies.
this is a huge story, and this is exactly what it was that was Law Day was set up for.
Jeff O'Brien, the sauce is right there on the screen, my friend.
We are working on getting your sauces.
It's right there. It's right there.
I know, but I meant getting the link or whatever.
Oh, I tweeted it.
Got it.
Yep.
Dang,
It's
that was
done.
quick, guys. I did. I'm okay.
JT, we got to do it. We're the news now. All right, we got to kind of, I'm sorry, we got to like wrap this up. Let's get this last, I think this is the last Q post. And I think, Shady, it's your turn. And you covered this already, but why don't we just recover it real quick?
De facto standard, Q
Right on.
said. And I
And?
want to read again, de facto standard is a custom or convention that has achieved a dominant position by public acceptance or market forces. Let me read that again. A de facto standard is a custom or convention that has achieved a dominant position by public acceptance or market forces. In other words, the Q narrative, us, the truth, has become the de facto standard.
Boom.
And we need that for this drug, HCQ. I mean, we need to get that up to
This
be a
needs to be the de facto standard. Very
Correct.
well said, yeah. And Carly.
Because we all have vaccines. So the vaccines we all got, and so HCQ will help us all.
So here's what we got. We got Carly tonight around 6. Then we've got JT. Are you going to play tonight?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll be on it. I'm gonna go on at 7. I'm like, woo! I'm hurting right now, and so I need to go on. And then tomorrow, though, I'm doing a full band show on Facebook. It's called DTSP Live, Downtown St. Pete Live, and at 7 o'clock in my real crew, a band, the drummer from Queensryche, Casey Grillo, is going to be playing with me, and my bass player, Sean Colpoys. And so it's going to be really cool. We can only do an acoustic set because we're in a small house, but if you guys can get to that Facebook, I'll put the link up on my DJT Wild on Twitter. And
dude, can you tell the Queensryche drummer I said, Revolution calling? Come on now.
Revolution.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Definitely.
I love
Thank
that
you
song.
for that. Thanks for delivering a message for us, Jay.
And make sure you guys social distance in that small house, JT.
Yeah, you better social distance. Your governor's watching.
That's actually probably a pretty funny idea. Like we go on with masks on, and then I'll take some scissors and cut a hole in mine so I can sing in the middle of the song. You know.
Perfect.
I would like to announce to everyone that I'm not going to or won't wear a mask out of respect for showing all of you out there that I'm not afraid of you.
And then tonight,
Yeah, exactly.
guys, we have the honor of having a Q Lounge live, Shady. Shady, announce it.
Join me tonight. We're going to be going over a lot of really crazy stuff, talking about the sheriffs, talking about your Constitution, and talking about the deep state plan to enslave you.
And that's Shady Groove tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, Q Lounge Live, right here, this same bat channel, this same bat station. Be there or be square. Guys, de facto. I love you guys. I'm sorry we didn't have enough time to be fun and silly, but I want you guys here every Friday. You guys really added some color to the Q posts. I really appreciate you guys. Carly, I love you very much.
I love you too.
And JT.
Oh,
and
love you guys.
I love you guys like brothers and sisters. Shady, you're meh.
Meh.
You're meh.
What? No way.
Shady's meh.
Some days meh, some days meh.
Shady's meh. And I'm gonna head right over. Why don't you guys join me? Head on over to Serial Brain 2 Hussein Occult 93 Piece Priest Part 2 of 2. Go over there. Tell them that Carly sent you, JT sent you, Matrix sent you, Shady sent you. But tell them that we sent you. And
we might have Joe Ray on the air early next week, so look out for that.
And I'm gonna try to get Jesse too. They both are on the ballot, guys.
Boom!
Joe Ray Perkins, future senator in Oregon. Jesse Melton, future House rep, taking over Ted Deutsch, guys. That's big. Guys, and let's get out of here before this goes. I love you guys so much. LK Dark to Light, over there right now. I'm going to hit that like button there. Make sure you hit it here too. We got 2 minutes. We're out, guys. Love you.
Peace out.
Thank you, guys. I love you guys so much. intheMatrixxx with 3x's.com, at the JT Wild, at Carluska P, at